Disclaimer. This video content is AI generated as educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis or treatment. Your health concerns may be unique. Always consult your physician or a qualified healthcare provider for personalized guidance.
All right, let's dive into something pretty fascinating. The link between our gut and our mood. It's a connection that, honestly, could completely flip how we think about and treat depression. So, to really get why this is such a big deal, you have to understand the scale of the problem. The World Health Organization is projecting that by 2030, depression is going to be the #1 single largest contributor to the global disease burden. Just let that sink in for a second. It's an absolutely staggering reality we're facing. The thing is, for so many people, the usual treatments, medication, therapy, they just don't work well enough. And that's pushed scientists to start looking for answers in some, well, really unexpected places. And it's leading to a whole new way of looking at mental health. So let's explore this incredible world that's going on inside all of us. And we're not just talking about digestion here. We're talking about an ecosystem so complex and powerful that it's often called our second brain. Picture this. Inside you, right now, are trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi. That's your gut microbiota. And this second brain does way more than just process your lunch. We now know it plays an absolutely critical role in our emotional balance because it can directly influence the neural circuits in our actual brain. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool idea, but is there any real proof? Oh yeah, there's proof. And it's pretty direct. In some truly remarkable studies, scientists took gut microbes from depressed human patients and transferred them into healthy rodents. And guess what happened? Those animals started showing depression-like behaviors. This is a huge deal because it suggests the gut's condition isn't just a symptom, it could actively cause changes in our mood. This startling connection opens the door to a radical new idea for treatment. I mean, if an unhealthy gut ecosystem is part of the problem, what if we could just replace it with a healthy one? The procedure is called Fecal Microbiota Transplantation, or FMT. Now, I know it might sound a little strange, but the concept behind it is actually pretty simple. Think of it like you're reseeding a forest after a wildfire, or maybe rebooting a computer that's full of bugs. The goal isn't just a tiny fix, it's a complete system refresh. So, what's actually going on here at a biological level? It's pretty amazing. A healthy gut sample can end up altering neurotransmitters in the recipient's body and can even reduce inflammation that might cross the blood-brain barrier. It's a seriously sophisticated medical procedure, and we can break down the basic steps. The whole thing is very methodical, as you'd expect. First, a very healthy donor is screened. Then, the sample is carefully processed to isolate all those beneficial microbes. And finally, it's introduced to the patient, sometimes through capsules or endoscopy, to get that new, healthy microbial community set up and running. And listen, this isn't some shot-in-the-dark idea. While it's new for depression, FMT has an incredible track record. We're talking success rates approaching 90% for treating these really debilitating gut infections like recurrent C. difficile. So we have a really powerful precedent here for its potential to completely re-engineer an internal ecosystem for the better. Okay, so we've established that the gut can influence the brain. But how? How does that communication actually happen? How is that even possible? I mean, really think about it. How can a bunch of microbes in your gut possibly change the way you feel? Well, the answer lies in this complex, kind of hidden superhighway of communication that runs between our two brains. And it's not just one little road, it's a whole multi-lane network. This whole network is called the gut-brain axis, and you can think of it like a superhighway with 3 main lanes. First, the gut can influence our stress hormones, things like cortisol. Second, it's constantly talking to our immune system, and an unhealthy gut can trigger inflammation that actually affects our brain. And third, and this is wild, there's a direct physical link, the vagus nerve. It's like a biological fiber optic cable sending messages straight from the gut to the brain. It's this constant chatter that connects our gut health to our mental state. So understanding this connection is one thing, but figuring out how to control it, that requires a totally new way of thinking, moving beyond simple biology and into the world of complex systems. A recent mathematical study on this very problem put forward this mind-bending idea that's actually borrowed from fields like ecology and physics, right? What on earth does that even mean? In plain English, it means we have to stop thinking about individual bacteria, like, oh, let's just add one good probiotic. And we have to start thinking about the entire gut ecosystem as a landscape. I want you to imagine your microbiome's health as a topographical map. On this map, healthy and depressed states are like deep, stable valleys. A ball, which represents your current health state, will naturally want to stay down in whatever valley it's in. It takes a pretty big push to get that ball up and over the hill and into a different valley. So the goal of a treatment like FMT isn't just about adding a few helpful species. The new goal is to provide a big enough, targeted nudge to push the entire ecosystem out of that depressed valley and let it settle into the healthy one. It's all about shifting the entire system's balance. So, where does this powerful combination of biology and mathematics take us? What does the future of treating mood disorders even look like with this new knowledge? Okay, let's be realistic for a moment. We're not quite there yet. There are still some pretty significant hurdles to get over before this becomes a mainstream therapy. We need standardized procedures, we need long-term safety data, and we need to get way better at understanding which microbes work best for which people.
But the early research is just incredibly promising. I mean, animal studies are showing again and again that FMT can regulate brain cell function, it can reduce inflammation, and it can alter pathways that are directly linked to depression. The evidence is definitely building.
What all of this is pointing toward is a brand new frontier in medicine. We're moving toward a future of what are being called precision bacteriotherapies, treatments that aren't one-size-fits-all, but are designed based on ecological models of your own unique microbiome. And this all leads to a final, really provocative thought. We could be on the verge of a true paradigm shift, where treating mental health involves not just adjusting brain chemistry, but carefully cultivating the entire internal world that supports it, a world guided not just by medicine, but by ecology and mathematics. It could really change everything.